G'day everyone, and welcome to our first unnamed, as of today, full-length podcast after many requests, I think, from our friends and clients.
Yeah, many requests.
Yeah, finally doing it, so hopefully we don't disappoint. But for those who don't know, my name is Danni. I work full-time as a senior director in IT SOX compliance. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. Not many people do.
I don't know what it is, and we live together.
And also an online coach.
She's actually a really good online coach. She's not giving herself credit. I'm Aryan. A lot of people call me Coach Zia, but my name is Aryan, and I also coach online full-time.
So, and we've been dating for 3 years and a few months now. So
yeah, 3 years and 4 months.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. June, July.
Get used to me remembering random things because it's going to be a recurring theme.
Yeah, exactly. Memory's not so good. All right, so I guess to kick things off, the age-old question, how do we first meet?
Yeah. It's a pretty simple question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How everyone meets these days?
How everyone meets these days? On Hinge.
On Hinge. Well, online, yeah.
But I think the funny thing is that I don't know about you, but when I found you on Hinge, I was not looking for a relationship or a hookup or anything at that time. I did it out of boredom. I downloaded the app. I just moved into a new apartment, and I was just bored, sitting there, had nothing to do. I was like, let me see what's on Hinge these days. I
think a lot of people swipe on Hinge just for entertainment with no intention of even following through on it.
Exactly.
I was definitely on Hinge to date, but I wasn't really actively trying very hard. I think I'd been on it maybe a week when I matched with you. Yeah. And hadn't been on any dates at that point.
So what made me stand out? I think who swiped first? Me, right?
I think you maybe swiped on me. I
think it was me. So yeah, because maybe. I remember I looked on you had on your Hinge profile, my love language are words of affirmation, physical touch, which are also both mine, and gym.
And going to the gym.
And I was like, oh, same.
Yeah.
And then you said, I want someone who, that would love coming to raves with me or something like that. I was like, oh, that's me as well. Swipe.
Yeah.
And also, this is what he had a voice note on his, because at Hinge you can leave voice notes. So knowing he has a sexy voice, it's because you have a good voice. Yeah. Knowing he has a sexy voice.
No comment.
He had a little, yeah, exactly.
No comment.
He had a little voice recording on there, and I was like, oh, and he's.
It's just so that you can hear that I know how to speak. Yeah,
and I was like, oh, and he's.
What if I had a lisp?
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Works for C-Bomb,
But he had
actually.
an accent too, so I was like, okay, so he's not American, but he kind of sounds American. He kind of sounds. I mean, your accents.
I don't sound like anything. I'm a total mutt at this point.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't know what you were, but I knew you weren't full American, so I was like, okay, interesting. So that was my.
I can't remember if you didn't have like any of your competitions, but you had your Instagram, and I think I went over to a little sneaky sneak of your Instagram.
A little stalky stalk.
Yeah, a little stalky stalk, and I saw that you were a bodybuilder and a competitor. And I was like, okay, so she's already passed through like 5 of the 10 prerequisite gates just by being you know what I mean? Like because I don't know, if you're a competitor, you just get certain things. Yeah. You know, you didn't have to be a competitor for things to work out, but makes things a lot easier if you're already a bodybuilder and live the lifestyle in a sense. But also you just seemed genuine, and I mean, who knows? We didn't know until we actually met up, did we?
Yeah, exactly. Because there are a lot of crazy people on those dating apps, people. So
crazy is an understatement.
Just be careful, because people pretend to be people that they're not.
But some fun stories.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was bizarre that we connected, and that was it. Because then I think we moved over to WhatsApp, and then I just deleted the app. And then we continued to talk on WhatsApp after that.
And here we are, 3 and a bit years later.
Yeah, and here we are. Yeah, exactly. 3.5 years later. So
crazy.
All right. Well, I guess next question, in terms of speaking of bodybuilding, and I guess what's going to be the core of this podcast, most likely. What got us each into boxing? So, what got you into bodybuilding?
God, it's embarrassing to even admit. It was definitely a breakup.
Same.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those. It wasn't like one of those, revenge body situations. But I think
mine was okay.
I think when you, well, I think a lot of people go through this when they go through a breakup anyway. They start to hyperanalyze themselves and be like, okay, so what was wrong? there wasn't anything wrong with me. It wasn't, necessarily anything wrong with me that,
But everyone does that.
But
anyway.
you kind of hyperanalyze and you're like, okay, so, she was dating me, now she's dating this guy. Maybe if I'm, big and, muscular and, scary looking like this dude, maybe, this won't happen to me again. On a very deep psychological level, that's probably what my subconscious is telling me. That's not how it works. Obviously, women generally, in my experience, don't care about that stuff. But I just wanted to not feel uncomfortable in my skin anymore. I'd never been very talented at sports, and growing up, I'd never been very good at team sports or anything like that. I was a great swimmer. That was about it, really. So I think I just wanted to be better at something, like really good at something. I was like, you know what? I may not have a lot of athletic skill, but I'm a really hard worker and I have like a killer work ethic, and I really like to learn. So that kind of sparked this obsession with, okay, how can I be a better bodybuilder? How can I build more muscle effectively? How can I do this, this, and this? And that then spiraled into, like a borderline obsession and fascination with bodybuilding in the gym. And it's just hasn't really ever gone away ever since. I love it,
Yeah, I think, well, for me, I would say the very first time I competed, which would have been 2007. Damn, that's a long time ago.
I was 18 when you competed for the first time.
Oh, jeez. We're 6 years apart. So
you wouldn't know it.
The way I got into it actually was I was going to a gym. I was doing boxing predominantly. I love boxing. I've been doing boxing for a very long time.
I was into boxing as well. It's just an outlet.
Yeah, it's an outlet, right? But so my boxing coach was also coaching another girl for a competition, and I knew her through the dance. I used to teach dancing as well. Used to be a dance teacher back in Australia, and so she asked me to teach her a routine.
She is quite the dancer, I'll have you know. Those who already follow on the gram know this.
I was going to say, anyone who knows me already knows that I'm always dancing.
Ask Vanilla Ice. I'll let her tell that story later. Anyway, continue.
The way I even got introduced to the world of bodybuilding, let me just start there, or the competition world, I should say, was I choreographed a routine for this girl that was doing the sports model division back in 2007 in Australia. We had to dress in a sports outfit and do a routine, like a dance routine. So I choreographed that for her, and I was like, I'm going to come watch the show and support. And I remember being there and looking at all the girls up on stage. And at the time, I was going through a bit of a confidence issue because I had done this is going to sound stupid. I did a chemical peel, and I had a really bad reaction to it. I broke out in like hormonal acne on my face. Yikes. And this was in my 20s, and I never had acne ever as a teenager.
Hormonal acne is the worst,
and it was horrible, and I just felt so insecure about myself. And I went to this comp and I saw these girls on stage, their bikinis and done up, and I was like, I reckon I could do that. And that was it. That's kind of how I got introduced to the competitive side of bodybuilding before I started bodybuilding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was doing boxing. So then that's kind of when I decided to do a comp, 2007 Australia, 2008, and then 2010. And then I moved to New York. Didn't step foot into a gym when I first moved to New York because, well, New York, just partied the whole time. And then same thing as you. I went through a really bad breakup. And, the partying and the drinking was, not making me feel better, surprisingly,
You're kidding me.
No, it was weird.
Can't imagine why not.
Getting wasted every weekend wasn't the answer. Temporary fix in that moment, but then you just continue to feel like shit. So, and it was funny. I went on a Bumble or a Hinge date with this guy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm entering a bodybuilding competition." And I was like, "Shut up! I used to do that years ago in Australia." And he was like, "Oh, you should enter." I was like, "All right."
Didn't he like drop out?
He did, yeah.
And you did the show?
I did the show, but he still came to support, so thanks, Miles.
Okay.
But yeah, and then ended up that's kind of how I got reintroduced to it, because I went through a breakup. I was feeling shitty. Someone suggested it, and I was like, actually, yeah, that's a good way to give back to myself. So it was about like, and it sounds so cliche, but it was like, self-love, like, going out and drinking and doing all these things when you're in a bad place only makes that worse. And bodybuilding really pulled me out of that, because I stopped drinking, I was eating healthy, working out, and yeah, I mean, it just gave me a new it was a whole new start to life, basically. So I'm thankful for that breakup.
So you'd say your life has changed a lot since truly embracing bodybuilding?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like there's different ideas in people's minds of what bodybuilding is.
Yeah.
For us, a lot of people see bodybuilding as just the stage because that's all they understand.
Right.
Because that's all they've seen publicized. They think of Schwarzenegger and pumping iron and things like that. But there's actually, I guess, the lifestyle aspect of bodybuilding when done properly, I think is the side that a lot of people, if they knew about it, would appreciate a lot more. Yeah. Which is the discipline giving you freedom, you know?
Yeah.
That saying, like, discipline creates freedom. It's, I don't know, for me at least, my life has become so much better since adopting a routine that feels like it's given me control over my health, my hard days are not as hard because I have an outlet. I feel like I have a central purpose or path to follow, that I'm building towards something. Yeah. Even when everything else is kind of falling apart, like at least, I can focus on making my body healthier or stronger or whatever it may be. It's the pursuit of excellence. It doesn't have to be monetarial or whatnot, but how would you say your life's changed since really embracing bodybuilding?
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been doing this for bodybuilding now for over 15 years, but I'll say on and off. Like I fell in and out, like I said, when I moved to New York. But I think I've been doing it consistently now, I would say for the last 10 years, right? Consistently. And I've done it all kinds of ways, right? Old school method and new school. And I think where we are now today in terms of like you said, making it our lifestyle, which I never thought I'd be one of those people that says, oh, it's just a lifestyle now. Because I used to look at people like, how is this your lifestyle? How is eating chicken a lifestyle? But it's
how is what
eating chicken and broccoli, all the time a lifestyle.
I can't remember the last time I ate broccoli, but yeah.
But no, I in terms of how my life has changed, I mean, just prioritizing the health part of it, right, and longevity, and like just being and feeling the best that I can. And also, I know it's not always about looks, but I don't care what people say. Like, if you look good, you feel good. So,
if you look good to yourself, that's the caveat.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like about looking good for others. It's about, I go outside and I don't feel self-conscious, or I don't have to
feeling confident within yourself.
An oversized shirt at the pool or something. Do you know what I mean? That's more about how you.
And that's different for everybody, right? It's more about like feeling confident and feeling good within yourself is what I mean.
And
thank you for making that distinction, because I want people to be like, it's only about how you look.
Well, the other thing is, I think that a lot of people don't clearly delineate make that distinction between bodybuilding as this super extreme unhealthy sport, but the lifestyle habits that kind of align with bodybuilding and how those can play into really achieving not just a great physique, but longevity with that physique as well.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of what we, I guess, are big on for ourselves. And it's just more sustainable that way. If you're just like bouncing back and forth between extremes, of course you're going to hate it,
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, my life has changed a lot. I think, back from, what I was doing before, which is like going out and partying a lot and drinking. I mean, neither of us drink anymore. When you haven't drank in how many years now?
Like 7 years, I want to say, maybe longer. I can't remember the last time it's been since someone bought me a shot for a birthday years ago, and I was like, I had a sip. I was like, "Here you go, buddy." Yeah. It just doesn't agree with me.
Oh, it's been
I don't feel good.
I think 3 years sober. People do that. Don't get me into that conversation.
You mean the people who just stop drinking?
The people who just stop drinking on Instagram and then I've been sober. It's like
I could go around saying I've been sober for like 7 years.
7 years, yeah. Anyway, so in terms of how lives have changed, I feel like, we have, it's a routine, right? I think we're sleeping better, we're healthier than we ever were. But then, like you said, when you have discipline around your food and your training and things like that, it does seep into other areas of your life, like performing better, in my corporate job, my work, because, I'm more organized and more disciplined around that as well. It does seep into other areas of your life. And I've heard other coaches say this to people as well. So it does happen. Like, if you gain control over what you're around your health and your fitness, then expect other areas of your life just to turn into awesome mode too. It just happens. I don't know how to explain it. It's a phenomenon. But
another thing that you'll notice when you start to really prioritize your health and fitness, I mean, not even if you're just trying to be a bodybuilder, is that people who are supportive and actually want to see you succeed will like be really excited for you. And will, for instance, like your boss and your colleagues are like all on board, you know, when you're on prep, they're like, but like there's going to be people who are just going to be like, why are you doing that? Because they don't want you to level up.
Right.
So it's really interesting when you do start saying, nah, I don't really want to do this anymore. It doesn't, you know, it's like kind of, it's not like you're saying you're better than anyone, but it doesn't serve you anymore. So
people have trouble with that though, you know. It's so interesting how many people struggle with putting up those boundaries. I actually had this conversation with a client the other day. I was like, you know, in your corporate job, tell people that you're doing a 3-month coaching program and that you have these goals.
Many people won't say anything, and because they're worried. But if you say something, if you don't ask, you don't get. You know,
right?
obviously.
Exactly.
So,
asking it is given.
Yeah.
Good book.
Yeah, you got to bring it up to people, and if they then decide to try and derail you, well, screw them. But if they're actually being, you know, if you tell them, they might actually be like, oh, cool, and you might inspire someone else to do the same thing.
That's exactly what I said to her. I was like, you know, and I feel like that's going to happen. I think you're going to have a group of people that you inspire through, you know, changing your lifestyle and, you know, going the healthy, like, you know, healthy route versus other people who are going to be jealous because they don't have that level of, and they're going to try and sabotage or bring you down. Like the old, one's not going to kill you, just have a bite. You know, what's one drink going to do? And those people.
And I don't think people are always being malicious in that sense.
Right.
They just, in their mind, they don't think it has a, you know, a large effect. But then you also know that, you know, one bite for them is not just one bite. You know what I mean? It's you know. It's a slippery slope. So
but I think just to wrap that up, like how I think our lives have changed for the better by far in so many areas, like financially, you know, longevity wise, you know, just overall joy and happiness. I mean, it's just made both of our lives individually, I think, better and also together. So
yeah, I'm also very much one of those people that I feel like I have to earn my rewards. So if I don't feel like I've been sticking to something that then should result in some kind of, I just won't reward myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people that I won't take time off to chill unless I feel like I've had some period of productivity. It's the same for bodybuilding. When I eat healthy and I'm, you know, it's like, okay, cool. I don't mind going out for sushi and like eating half the restaurant in a single sitting because the other 3 weeks out of the month I've been on point. So it's definitely added a lot to our lives and given us the opportunity to live with more freedom than we originally thought when we first started, I think.
Speaking of living, puts me on to the next point. What are the pros and cons of dating or / living with another athlete, another bodybuilder?
Pros, I guess. Should we do the cons first? I can't really think of many cons, to be honest.
I'll tell you a con. When you do the bloody lid of the protein shaker too tight,
you just need a stronger grip.
You leave it in the sink and you don't take it off.
Do you know that grip is one of the #1 top measures of all-cause mortality? And Danny can't open a bloody shaker when I tighten it too much.
Why do they always do it too tight? I don't know. I'm sure there's other men out there that do this, but if you are putting the lid on, you put it in the sink, just loosen it or just take it off and put it in the sink.
I've taken to just leaving them off now.
Yes, you have. Thank you.
Is that really a con or is that just like a bugbear?
That's a bugbear.
You never heard that before?
No.
One of my bugbears? You know what really grinds my gears?
I've heard. Yeah, that's from Family Guy. But I think that's the con. What would be another con? I mean, there's lots of. I know the pros are going to be easy.
Yeah, I just don't want to go non-stop just talking about how great everything is.
Yeah. Everything's amazing.
Everything's great. Cons. Well, the protein bill every month is pretty pricey, especially in California. Groceries are pricey. You know, we eat a lot of food. It's unfortunately we're at a point in history where it's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat unhealthy. Obviously, you have to really work at it. So we do spend a lot on food. It's probably our biggest, one of our biggest outgoings.
But I will say, I mean, because we cook so much at home, it's still saving way more than if we ate out a lot.
Correct. Yeah. So that's the other side of the coin. Look at that. What an optimist. Yeah, gosh, I'm trying to think.
I think just trying to time who's going to use the treadmill first in the morning for fasted cardio.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that. We're pretty diplomatic, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think, I guess we're really good about this, I think, for the most part. But at the same time, there's something to be said about the fact that we're both bodybuilders, we're both, do you know what I mean, like focused on the goal. Like sometimes it's hard to just unplug and just be normal girlfriend and boyfriend, you know, especially given that it's my full-time business, it's your part-time business as well. So it obviously permeates every minute of our existence, you know, and sometimes
it's hard.
Sometimes it's hard to disconnect from that place and be like, okay, let's just be normal for the day. You know, let's not talk about training or this or that,
clients.
It's really hard because we love the clients that we work with. Like we're quite selective about who we work with at this point. And the people we do work with are like
family.
Many of them are like friends and family at this point. So you know, when we hear like, oh, we want to like share, this person just had this victory. Do you know what I mean? So it's like hard not to bring these people up because we're invested in their success too. So
I guess that's a good pro.
But it's also like sometimes we both just need to be like, let's just stop talking about work and bodybuilding and stuff. Let's just, let's watch a movie and just chill out,
disconnect a little bit,
and cuddle with the dogs.
Yeah,
and, you know.
I mean there's so many pros. Obviously the fact that we have the same set of values and priorities in our life, like being that health and fitness, like. We don't derail each other, and we understand. Like, if you need if you need 2 hours to go to the gym, and I've got to, like, we always give each other time for those things that are important. So that's really good. We don't. I mean, obviously, for me, going through competition prep, it's a big pro because I live with my coach. So
yeah, she can't hide anything from me.
No,
literally,
I can't.
So. Not that she would anyway, because she can't lie to save her life. But
this is all written all over my face.
But now it works well because sometimes, especially if I'm like super busy or I have a ton of athletes in prep and Danny's on prep, I'm like, okay, just get your suit on and just pose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I don't have to do a check-in. And it's,
But yeah, I think there's a way more pros than there are cons of dating another bodybuilder, and I feel like we're lucky to have that. And I know that it's not always the case, right? Because I have friends and clients and previous clients who were in a dating situation where their partner wasn't, where fitness is not their priority, and that can cause some challenges. I'll say, I'll just leave it at that. But maybe that's another.
It's maybe a topic for another conversation. We can talk about how best to
navigate that.
To navigate that, because I think that's a topic in and of itself. I think.
Yeah.
But I guess we could just be here talking about pros all day. So let's move on and get to what we decided.
Everything's amazing.
Yeah, things we wish we knew when we entered this industry, the fitness industry or the bodybuilding, whatever you want to call it, the bodybuilding fitness, industry at large.
That booty bands don't build muscle.
Oh yeah, I mean we could talk forever about training modalities that don't work and supplement scams and things like that. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is that there is no replacement for intelligent training and programming. That is the fundamental thing. Like your nutrition is obviously key because that will shape how your physique responds to training. But the training is especially for those who really want to make the whole purpose of the fitness industry is to look and feel great, right? So if you want to make lasting changes, for me, I think just having that understanding, that in-depth understanding of how to train properly and really, create the stimulus to change your physique over time, that is what I wish I knew going into it, because I did everything wrong in the beginning because I was, watching, bodybuilding.com's like top whatever workouts or, Men's Health magazine where half the cover models are, on PEDs and not actually getting the physique that they're saying they are from those programs and supplements and whatnot. But what about you?
I think the big one for me is probably around nutrition. In terms of like, I think today and I always preach about this, but I do the if it fits your macros, and I try and include foods that I enjoy eating, and it really doesn't make it feel like I'm on a diet or I'm the cutting phases aren't miserable because I'm eating the same things I would normally eat, just in smaller portions.
Sorry to interrupt. I would argue that you do more of like a flexible dieting approach than just a straight if it fits your macros, because you go way more in depth on the food quality than an if it.
IFYM doesn't matter.
I'm trying to think what the acronym is.
No, but I was saying that, like, I think in the past when I first started competing again here in the States in like 2016, whenever it was, it was all very, it was a big drastic change from what I was doing. So I was living in New York. I was eating out all the time. You know, I was not cooking at home. So I was constantly eating out like shitty foods. So like,
delicious shitty foods.
Like mac and cheese, chicken parmigiana, like just eating out all the time. And then I went full, like, you know, did a full 360 or 180, whatever you want to call it, but 180. And
360.
So I did a full 360 and ended up back where I was. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good one.
Yeah, thanks.
Good one, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. No, I did a full change and went like super strict mode where I was just doing like sweet potato, broccoli, chicken. And once that first competition was over, I just binged like an idiot. I wasn't even hungry. I was just binging because I could. And I think what the issue was there was because I did such a drastic change for what I was eating, and then I was eating very boring, bland, plain foods for so long. So when the comp was over, I was like, okay, I have earned this, and I made all the excuses, and I was eating like an idiot. Where now, you know, during off season or whether we're preparing for a competition, you know, I'm still eating the foods I enjoy, just making sure that majority are from whole foods, so egg, chicken, things like that. But I still have something sweet every single day, and it makes it more enjoyable. I think, I wish I knew that earlier so that I didn't screw myself over so many times. You know, flip-flopping from eating different things each time. Yeah,
and I think that hyper restriction often leads to a chaotic conclusion at the end of a prep when things are at that point and you've already been restricting for like months and months and months, and then suddenly the floodgates are opened and you pretty much have no restrictions. It's like, okay, then I'm going to eat what the hell I want.
Yeah, and, I deserve this. You know, I've been so good, blah, blah, blah. And you justify it to yourself, and, you know, and it's, What
we try to do now is, you know, again, balance. Like, obviously, if you're in the final stages of prep, you're not going out for cheeseburgers and ice cream, but, you know, we try to time it. I mean, you had sushi last night. You're 3 weeks out. Yeah, but it wasn't. You know.
No, but I didn't go. It wasn't burgers and pizza. Yeah, I had sushi. Yeah.
You didn't eat like a dumbass, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You sushi, like, you know. Yeah. And it was pretty clean rolls that you were getting. So there's smart ways to go about it, and it's interesting that that's your biggest thing from entry, because for me, like, food is just never. I can eat like a robot, and it just doesn't stress me at all. But
no, I'm a foodie. I love food, so I got to enjoy it. But I mean, there's so many things I wish I knew. But it's funny because, like, when I first started, I remember I used to film all my workouts like all the time. It was back when Instagram only allowed you to have like 30-second clips. And I look at some of the training I did back then and what I'm doing now, just going back to what you were saying with how the training makes a difference. And I was doing a lot. I was doing the most. Let's just say that. And now I'm not doing the most. But anyway.
That's another topic we can expand upon.
I think the different training modalities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could talk about programming probably for hours, so we'll save that for another time.
We'll save that for another day. All right, I'm going to ask you first, Arian, why did you decide to become a coach? I know you were personal training, but yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I was personal training. I mean, as a personal trainer, especially if you're actually taking your job seriously, I know a lot of people are entering no shade to personal trainers. Like, there are some great ones. There's a lot of people entering the fitness industry now because there's a low bar to entry. When I became a personal trainer, you didn't qualify. At least, you know, I did the NASM back in the day where you had to go to a testing center, and you don't get an open book test that you pass online. If you get X amount of, you know, points and you fail, you have to pay to retake the test. That's the personal training cert that I remember. So I kind of took it seriously, and I just wanted, I think, a job that allowed me to be active, because, you know, as I said previously, my bachelor's was sitting in front of a screen coding for hours and hours a day. I felt really grateful to be in an active role where I was interfacing with people, even though I'm somewhat of an introvert. But it was less. It was less intimidating to me because it was one-on-one, right. You know? So I was developing like a relationship with those, and, you know, building relationships with those clients. But the natural progression, I guess, from personal trainer to coach happened more so around the pandemic, because as a personal trainer, you're kind of an in-person coach already. You're already trying to give your clients some nutritional advice. You only have them for like an hour a week, or maybe 2 hours a week, maybe 3 if you're lucky. And then they're just, you know, fucking around the rest of the week. But with coaching, you know, the real hard nudge into online coaching, I guess I can talk to that in a second. The reason I got into it was because I just really wanted to help people get from where I had been to where I was then. So, not feeling confident in myself, kind of the skinny fat guy that didn't have a lot of muscle, didn't really know how to, in my, teenage and early, I didn't know how to approach like women and talk to them and like, any of that stuff. I was just very, very clueless, and I just wanted to feel more confident.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I wanted to get girls, but I just wanted to have the confidence to, just wanted to have the confidence to approach someone, and just have a conversation, you know what I mean? So, it's just, it's gamer, anime, like, not picking up much.
Nerd.
Yeah, literally. So, hey, I got you, didn't I?
Was going to say, I love you.
But yeah, it's interesting. I definitely got into it wanting to kind of give people that sense of like, I don't feel self-conscious about myself. It's a really good, I'm sure many of you listening to this can attest to this. Like when you cross that threshold, after you've been in that state of mind where you just don't like yourself, you wake up in the mirror, you look at yourself and you're like, it sounds kind of extreme. You're like, I hate what I see. And then, months, years later, you wake up one day and you're like, okay, I'm not 100% satisfied, because
bodybuilders never are.
Because bodybuilders never are. But, and even I think many of us who are, pursuing excellence, we're not fully satisfied always. But, you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I feel better. Like I'm getting there, That's kind of the point I'm at. That's kind of at the point that I'm at now, 6-7 years later after really launching into bodybuilding. Right. But yeah, that was why I got into it. And the pandemic kind of pushed me online, and then it really kind of blew up from there because I really started refining how I could really, really help people from an operational standpoint. And that's where things really took off, which again is another conversation, I think. But the why is I just didn't want people to feel the way I felt when I was at my lowest,
Yeah, I would say mine's probably the same reason, the same, I guess, same area of reasoning, I would say. I'd been posting my fitness stuff, just sharing my journey, on Instagram, like I said, way back before Reels and video were even a thing. I was sharing my videos on Facebook because Instagram didn't have video even when I first started filming my workouts. But I was just doing it to, just to share my journey. And along the way, motivated a few people. And people would always ask me like, oh, do you coach? And I was always like, no, I don't really want to, it's not really my thing. Like I was also just like kind of doubting myself as well. Like, I don't know if I really, know how to coach someone. And it was just kind of years and years and years and years later after many competitions and everything else.
I really wish I'd started sooner. I really wish I'd started sooner and just started learning the process more.
Yeah. It's been, I don't know how many years now, but for me, it was the same reason. I just wanted to show people that you can still like achieve the body that you want by, having a good time. Like it doesn't have to be this like, oh, I'm on a diet or oh, I'm miserable or, you know what I mean? It was also just like, and you're never too late to start. I think I was in my 30s when I first competed here. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the best shape of my life, that I've ever been in now. And I'm 42. So it was also just, showing people especially in the corporate world, because I worked in corporate since the beginning of time. And I feel like, especially in that culture, like it's all about just like your long hour. I worked in, at Deloitte in consulting in New York for many years. And it's just like you work long hours, sometimes you don't even get to leave the office. So everyone's just ordering food. It's always happy hours. There's always like work events. And I would look at the older like executives, and
it's almost a requirement, isn't it, to sacrifice
your
health for the sake of cohesion with your colleagues and your department,
I just wanted to be different, inspire others, and honestly, I don't know how I did it back then, like working sometimes 80-hour weeks and still prepping for a competition. Like, I don't know how I did it, but I'm proud of myself for doing so. So it was also just like trying to show people that, you can change your lifestyle. It is your choice at the end of the day. You just have to want it hard enough. That's it. Like that's what it comes down to, wanting it more, wanting it enough.
And it's going to be different for people in different situations, right? If you're in a corporate situation, it's going to be harder. It's going to be more challenging. You're going to have more temptations and more people trying to pull you away from the path. But if anything, that's even more of a reason to double down and get it done, And not talking about competing specifically, but taking control of your health, because it's really easy in a corporate environment to just let it go, and then 1 year becomes 5, becomes 10, becomes diabetes 20 years later, becomes it becomes like a shortened lifespan 20 years after that, because you just gave up that 1 year. It's a slippery slope. So
all right, so
this one,
what keeps us in sync today? Like what roles? Yeah, I guess roles that each of us play in our day-to-day life to keep each other in sync, and I guess I guess accountable without micromanaging me, because technically you're my coach, so we're kind of like boyfriend girlfriend. We live together, and we're also client coach.
The straight hair, it's gone now.
Thanks, babe.
Couldn't leave you there for another 20 minutes with a alfalfa sticking up out of your head.
See, this is how he keeps me accountable. By fixing my hair. I guess roles that each of us play, in terms of like coach, planner, cook, I feel like we share all these things. So I don't think we...
we pretty shared on responsibilities for, even though I'm Danny's coach, she's the first person I go to for it. Like, I coach myself at this point in my career. I've had several coaches, but I just prefer to be in control of all my variables. But Danny's the first person I ask for after I've made my own assessment, and typically her assessments align pretty similarly to me, and then there's maybe like a sharper edge to it, because she wants me to have a little bit of tough love on occasion too, which is what I need. So you know.
And I think, like you said, we kind of, responsibility wise, we both share things, but I think I'm definitely we're so different in terms of personality. Like, I'm Miss Energy all the time, and I'm always like go, 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 go. Where you are just this chill energy vibe. So like,
for the
he
most
helps
part.
reset my nervous system sometimes, because I definitely need it, because I'm always at like running at 100 all the time, and
my brain's running at,
and his brain's running at 100
all the time. So when I decide it's time for downtime, it's time for downtime, because otherwise I would just burn out. My brain just wants to learn new things and solve problems, and sometimes I gotta tell myself, hey, it's
I think that's where I help you, to remind you that you need to just stop working. I don't have an issue with taking time.
You're the first person in my life to tell me, so that's probably
he works too much, too many hours of the day, so I think everyone needs that time to disconnect.
When you love what you do,
it's a good thing to love what you do, but it's also important to give yourself me time.
But in terms of you definitely do the majority of the cooking, that's for sure. You're just a better cook than me. You enjoy it more than I do.
I do. So. Which my mum will be very surprised to hear.
And Danny's obviously full-time in corporate, so when it comes to the coaching and the education side of things, like, I'm the one who's reading studies, pretty much like trying to get as much information into this brain as possible, and then pretty much like sharing that at the earliest opportunity that I can fully understand it.
Sometimes you say words and I'm like, I wouldn't even know how to read that word if I said it, let alone remember something that you read of that word.
Well, you only have to ask.
It's just you blow my mind with some things that you say. I'm like, wait, what was that word? I wouldn't even know how to spell that word.
I probably don't know how to spell them either, but I can say them.
You're definitely a walking encyclopedia sometimes.
Thesaurus. Like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Do not ever call me a thesaurus.
I love that. All right, I'm gonna jump down, because we kind of already talked about the accountable thing, but and we touched on this earlier, but when do we turn off bodybuilding and just enjoy being a couple?
Never. I'm just kidding.
Next question. Okay. Next topic.
When Danny gets annoyed at me for not turning off bodybuilding and focusing on being a couple.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, can we go do something fun and not talk about bodybuilding, please?
I'm getting better at it, honestly. Again, when you get into something that you're really passionate about, and then you get good at it, and you're excited to talk about it, and
it's hard. I will say it is challenging for us to turn off bodybuilding altogether, but
it's not like Danny doesn't love it too. It's not like you don't love it too.
No, I do.
It's not like I'm just like the meme of the guy with his arm on the shoulder whispering into the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the he's like,
the
chick is just like, just she's not there.
Not there at all.
Yeah, and he's just like explaining some obscure topic.
Yeah.
So at least you have an understanding of and you appreciate it. But we just have to. I've used the word delineate, I think like 5 times today, but we have to draw a line and basically say, okay, on this, we have to draw a line and basically say, okay, this Sunday we're going to, or Saturday or whatever day it is, take the dogs to the beach. You know, I'll put my phone, you know, I'll leave it in the car, put it on D&D or something like that, because I just, I have to force myself to do that if I'm going to be present. And that's the downside of living in the era of technology, is we're never unreachable, and that's sometimes not a good thing.
Correct. Okay. How bodybuilding has tested or strengthened our connection is kind of in line with that, right? I think definitely, like we said earlier, it's having this that we both have a passion for bodybuilding, and it's so important to both of us, has obviously strengthened our condition. I don't think it's tested the connection.
No, I think the only test comes from how involved we are with the process sometimes, and again, it's just making sure we allocate time for one another, because otherwise we're just like go. But we've already kind of addressed that, but it's really just making sure that even though we share all these, you know, there's a lot to life, like, you know, with bodybuilding, you know, will add a lot to your life, and being in shape and being healthy and fit will add a lot to your life. But there's also a lot more to life outside of that. I think, you know, we both like to travel. We both like to go to these, you know, dance music events. You know, Southern California's full of them. Like, a lot of our extended friends, it's like actually forcing ourselves to go and do this. Well, we don't have to force ourselves, but you know what I mean? Like, actually making sure we allocate time for that is really crucial. But yeah. Yeah.
And also just, I think what we've spoken about this before, by getting out of coach mode and getting into boyfriend mode sometimes has been an issue with you.
Yeah, for sure. She's just like, yeah.
No, go.
Go on. She like send me a selfie, and I'm like, oh yeah, great. You're like,
glutes look good
kind of thing. And I'm like,
thanks,
you know,
coach.
And she's like, I didn't send you.
Send me a fire emoji, goddammit.
Yeah, I didn't.
All I need.
Didn't send you a photo of my butt for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Yeah, sometimes
I just don't send them anymore. I just send checking photos now. But yeah, that was the only thing I think that tested it in the past, because you're just so in work mode all the time.
That just turned off. Just to wrap up, because the camera on Danny just died, so hopefully you can still hear her. She's going to come over and come on camera. Appreciate you guys listening. This was very off the cuff. We kind of... there she is. We didn't really... think about too many of the topics ahead of time. We just kind of listed some basic stuff to kind of go over. But if you guys have topics you'd like us to go over, whether it's educational, if it's about our life, bodybuilding, nutrition, new studies that are coming out that you're kind of interested in, that you'd like me maybe to dissect.
Yeah, I was going to say him to read and not me.
Danny's like, fuck no, I ain't doing that. Then just send us a DM. We'll probably be posting these on probably Spotify, YouTube, or something like that once we figure it out.
We really haven't figured anything out.
Yeah, this is very much off the rip. So appreciate you guys watching though, and we'll definitely be doing this more often, because this was kind of fun. Yeah. We'll also have a name next time, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. Send us some ideas for names as well, because again, we have no idea.
But talking to the microphone.
Thanks, guys. Okay, see you. Bye.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.